west. Southbound 55, South 270 have all cleared out. Northbound 255 at Collinsville Road looks better. So the rest of the highways are in pretty good shape to wrap it up for the evening. I'm Roger Brand in the Michael's Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
It's been another good-looking September day across St. Louis, and the evening will be just fine with temperatures in the 70s. Partly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny skies, gorgeous morning. It is slightly warmer during the afternoon. We can handle it, mainly in the 80s, but the actual high may touch 90 degrees. Wednesday night, clear skies, 66. Thursday, sunny, bring it up to about 92 degrees. Thursday night, clear skies, 67. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, sunny skies, 95, 96 for high temperatures Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but no records, though certainly above average. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
At the moment, it's a cloudy sky. We stand at 77 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Come on, let's get going now.
From KMOX Sports.
We're primed and ready. All day, baby. Man, let's go.
This is the Gray Bar Sports Open Live. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
A pleasant good evening Tuesday night here in St. Louis. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley tonight. Matt just a little bit under the weather, so I am pinch hitting for this edition of the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Glad to have you along tonight. It'll take us right into Cardinal baseball. We'll have Sports Open Line, essentially a full show. It'll be just a little bit shortened. Our pregame gets underway at 7:45. So all but that last segment in the 7 o'clock hour will be Sports Open Line, and we'll talk really about a lot of things, a lot of different things. We're going to do a little bit of a focus on football here, at least to start this hour and to start the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to hear from Randy Molman, the longtime public address voice at Faurot Field, who also, as you probably know, a good friend and acquaintance of mine. So we'll chat a little bit about Mizzou, about what that team looks like this year, what it means to have KU back on the schedule, and a W in that game on Saturday. I know that Randy was pleased about that. So we'll chat with him a little bit to start right after the break here. We'll also hear a little bit from Kevin Coleman Jr., the wide receiver, the St. Louis product from Mizzou. He visited with Tom Ackerman on Sunday on Sports on a Sunday morning. So we'll let you hear that. Had a great game against Kansas and really good conversation as well with Tom on Saturday. In the 7 o'clock hour, I'm going to talk to Missouri State football head coach Ryan Beard. They had a milestone win on Saturday as they have stepped up this year to the FBS level, the Football Bowl subdivision level, as a member of Conference USA. They started their season with a loss at USC. They stayed on the road for week number 2 and get their first win as an FBS program, beating Marshall with a great last-second drive or late drive, I guess I should say, but they beat Marshall for their first FBS win. So we'll talk to the head coach, Ryan Beard. We'll talk to him not only about that Marshall win, but certainly about the move up in classifications and kind of what that means and what that looks like, and sort of obviously a renewed commitment to football and to athletics in general there at Missouri State. What a cool time to be in Springfield and be a part of everything that's going on there. So we'll talk to him at 7:05. We'll also hear in the 7 o'clock hour from Alex Steen. It's another one that Tom Ackerman had on Sunday. And he, of course, is the GM to be, the GM in waiting, I don't know what else to call it. He is going to be the GM of the St. Louis Blues. And, of course, he's been around for a couple of years in an administrative role, in that front office role, after finishing his playing career, kind of learning as he goes and learning on the job. So we'll hear from him. The rookie camp opens tomorrow for the Blues. It's hard to believe we are just about at hockey season. We're already 2 weeks into college football season, really 3 if you count week 0. We're getting into week 2 of the NFL season. It's hard for me to believe where time has gone. It feels like we had just gotten into summer, and here we are. We're already getting into fall. Now, the temperatures are going to tell us differently coming up, as far as I know. It's going to be all warm and gross again. We had these nice days, warm days, cool evenings, like had the windows open at home. Man, it's been really nice. But I guess that comes to an end. Our little false fall is going to go away. So we'll take a break here. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll talk with Randy Molman, the public address voice. You hear him at not just for O Field, but a lot of times inside Mizzou Arena as well. He's been doing it for a while. And we'll chat next. That's coming up. This is the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. I'm Joe Pott, in for Matt Pauley, and we're coming right back on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at my favorite sports fantasy app, Underdog. So baseball's still going on. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the Underdog app today and sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you could be next. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com, GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024, see dealer for details.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Shows, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We're back in on the Gray Bar Sports Open line for a Tuesday night. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley. He is ailing just a bit. Don't worry. He's okay. Just has some issues with the voice, which, as Kevin said, right, that's a tough one in this business. Like, most people can go about their job when you have a little bit of a rough voice or you're losing your voice or whatever the case. Not in our business. We can't do it. It's like that. That's our kryptonite. That's the one thing that just shuts it down right away. So best wishes to Matt. He's going to be, he'll come through this. So I'm pinch hitting tonight. And I am pleased to welcome on the show a frequent guest of mine, a good friend of mine, and a great pro in this business in St. Louis and surrounding areas, most notably the public address voice at Faurot Field at Memorial Stadium. That would be Randy Molman. What's happening, Randy?
Joe, thank you for having me on. I'm hoping Matt Pauley is sipping some of that throat coat tea right now. You know, that throat coat tea is a winner for us in this business.
I was, I don't know, somebody who used to work at SIUE was posting something about a new tea they had found. And I was like, details, please. Like, I need to know we need to know all the tricks when it comes to, especially the winter. It gets to be,
absolutely.
It gets to be bad. It gets to be bad. Well, let's chat about Mizzou football, because the football team off to a 2-0 start, ranked this week number 25 in the Associated Press poll. First of all, how long have you been the public address voice at Faurot? Because I could not remember.
This is my 16th season as the public address announcer for Mizzou football. Started in 2010 when we were still in the Big 12. Got 2 years of the Big 12 and then SEC from that point on.
A proud Mizzou alum as well, I might add.
Yeah, that's right.
So coming off two good wins, 61-6 over Central Arkansas, obviously never in doubt in that one. A much tougher game, probably a much more fun game. My daughter, by the way, is a junior at Mizzou and was sending me snaps and everything else from inside the student section. But a 42-31 win over KU, first visit for the Jayhawks. First time they've played since 2011. I think it's the first visit since 2007. Is that right?
19 years. I think it was 2006.
Yeah, 2006. Okay.
First time they played in Columbia because they had a bunch of games in Kansas City. Right. So first time in Columbia in 19 years. And Joe, I got to tell you, I've worked a lot of games there over my 16 years, 15 plus. That was one of the greatest atmospheres in a college football game I've ever seen or ever been a part of. I mean, you talk about your daughter in the student section, those students who have never, by the way, seen a Mizzou-Kansas football game because of their age are there and they understand the rivalry and they're there and they were going crazy. It was an absolute blast to call that game.
Are you saying we're old?
Yes, you and I are old. Yes, I am saying that.
I just wanted to check that for sure. So I'll get back to, I do want to get back to that rivalry and it kind of starting over again. Let's talk a little bit about what this team has so far. First of all, schedule-wise, you and I were talking about this a month ago when we got together, but 6 home games to start the season for the Tigers.
Yeah, there's a bye week October 4th, but six home games in 7 weeks. That's unprecedented. That doesn't happen very often. That's really good for Missouri. That allows them to kind of get their game going, get in the flow. The only issue you could see with that is you play all those home games in a row and you go on the road for the first time and all of a sudden it's different and it's right in the middle of the season. So that could be a challenge. But I do love, you're going to see ranked South Carolina at home in a couple of weeks. You're going to see ranked Alabama at home October 11th before you ever have to hit the road. And I think that's a benefit to Missouri in terms of being able to build something as the SEC season wears on.
As this team got started and as camp broke, we were, I guess, kind of looking forward to a little bit of a QB battle, right, between Sam Horn and Bo Pribula. And it obviously didn't materialize. Unfortunately, Sam Horn gets injured very early in that game against Central Arkansas. Obviously, I have no idea how that would have turned out, but Bo Pribula has been very good under center for Mizzou.
Yeah, and let me say, us when we were in the press box and Sam Horn came out for his first play and got hit on the knee, and they had to help him off. There was a huge sigh of sadness in the press box because it was his first play of the season. He's already battled injuries in his career. He had a shoulder issue that kept him out 1 year, and that kept him out of a baseball season at Mizzou as well. So he has really been battling it, and just to have that happen was so sad. However, yes, Bo Pribula, wow. I mean, I remember seeing highlight videos of him doing a little digging before the season. Everything was related to his ability to run the ball. I didn't see a lot of video on him being able to throw the ball downfield. There just wasn't a lot of tape out there on that. And he has exceeded expectations. He's got great touch on the deep ball. He makes some very daring throws along the sideline in between the safety and the corner. And when he gets out of the pocket, you don't know if he's going to run it or he's going to throw it. He is a legit weapon, and he's been incredible so far in the first two games.
And the fact that, as you said, there isn't a ton of tape on that, perhaps at least to this point, that is serving the Tigers well, right? To not have, at least to some extent, or at least maybe less video available of that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know as well as I do, he's building that tape now. Other defensive coordinators throughout the SEC are starting to study this guy because it is going to be hard to defend. You know how it is. It is hard to defend a quarterback that is a dual weapon who even though you might be able to get to the pocket or into the pocket or pressure him, once he gets out of the pocket, it's everything is fair game. I mean, you have no idea what he's going to do at that point. And so defensive coordinators are going to be studying that now as he gets more and more tape out there.
30 of 39 against Kansas, 334 yards. He also did run the ball, as mentioned, 9 rushes there. So, yeah, without a doubt, to have that dual threat back there makes a huge difference. But again, whether he would have emerged or not, I don't know. But it's I certainly don't want to say it's some kind of blessing, right? That's not what I mean. But Mizzou has been fortunate that is how it's turned out with regards to how he has played.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll also say I don't want to leave out the running game. Coach Strink, we talk about Coach Strink's offense and how it is kind of high flying. They'll run up and down the field. They have a very potent offense in terms of a passing attack. But Coach Strink loves to run the football. And for most quarterbacks that play at this level or even in the NFL, everyone talks about the quarterback. But if you don't have a solid running game to rely on, that quarterback is kind of left out on an island. And getting this transfer from Louisiana, Ahmad Hardy, he has been, as advertised so far, second in the SEC in rushing. He'll run 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, and then boom, he breaks one for 2022. He is another threat. Jamal Roberts from St. Louis,
St. Mary's,
St. Mary's here in St. Louis took some of the load off last week when they were running on Kansas, and he had a big game. This is a legit running game that only helps Bo Pribula on Saturdays.
No doubt about it. We're visiting with Randy Molman, the public address voice of the Missouri Tigers at Faurot Field, as well as for many games inside Mizzou Arena for Mizzou basketball. We're talking football right now. I said I wanted to get back to it because we talked about the fact that most of the students in the stands on Saturday had not been around for a Kansas-Mizzou game, which is crazy for the rest of us to think about for how long that rivalry lasted up until, obviously, Missouri left for the SEC. And conference realignment has done that all over the place in college football. I don't necessarily think, I understand it. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I'm torn on this, Joe. The old school fan in me, of course, loves the rivalry. Look, I think Missouri has 2 great rivalries outside of conference, Kansas and Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wish they play football every year. I wish Mizzou would play them every year. But to your point, with conference realignment and Mizzou now out of the Big 12 and now being in a different conference than Kansas, a different conference than Illinois, you can't play. You just simply can't play a non-conference schedule where you're playing 2 Power 4 opponents and then playing your SEC schedule. It just you're flirting with disaster when you schedule like that. As much as I would love to see it, although in 2 years, I do believe Kansas and Illinois are both on the schedule in 2 years, but that's beside the point. I do think to take the rivalry out of conference. Look, Texas and Texas A&M was also another century-long rival that they were separated until Texas joined the SEC. Oregon and Oregon State no longer in the same crowd. There's plenty of them around the country. Yeah. You're very right about that. But on the other side of it, we're in a new era of college football, and I mean, we kind of just have to jump on, or it's just going to leave us old guys behind.
Oh, you're right. And now that Oklahoma's back in the SEC, you do have a sort of, quote, traditional rivalry back between the Tigers and the Sooners.
Yeah, for sure. And I wonder, as the SEC goes to a 9-game schedule, the rumor is hasn't been, this is not a fact or anything, but the rumor is that when Missouri gets their every year 3-team rivalry, like a little pod system where you play 3 teams every year outside of the rest of the SEC, that Oklahoma will be included in that they will be reigniting that Missouri-Oklahoma game every year.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that, those kind of things make sense. And when you have the opportunity within your conference to continue some of those rivalry games, obviously, I think that's a good thing. And that's, you think about another one that is obviously within the SEC is Alabama-Auburn. So you think about some of those rivalries that do still exist within conferences.
Yes, for sure. And I think most of the traditional rivals across the country have kind of stayed intact, right? But there are the one-offs, the Missouri-Kansas, the Texas and the Texas A&M game for years and years. I do think, however, that the conferences, even with this realignment, have held on to most of the traditional rivals.
Let's be honest. It's mostly because Kansas was jealous anyway.
I mean, you said it. I'll agree with you. I will wholeheartedly.
That's what it feels like, right? Like they were jealous. They didn't.
They felt Joe. I remember at the time they felt spurned.
I think so too.
They felt like, look, this is a rivalry that we've had for 100 years, and you are leaving us. And you did it without even asking. You know what I mean? Like, I think it definitely had something to do with it. Yeah.
But I will say, and I 100% agree with you, and I understand exactly what you're saying on scheduling. The other thing I will say is that in this day and age, athletics departments absolutely have to look out for number one.
They do. And I know fans hate to hear it, but you cannot play in the SEC. You cannot play in the Big Ten and schedule 3 or 4 non-conference games against other power conferences. You just can't do it because I'm sorry, but you have to build up the goal of getting to the playoff and playing for a national championship still comes back to winning football games. And yes, I understand winning games against smaller conference opponents is not ideal, but if you load up that non-conference schedule, you are not doing yourself any favors going into your power conference schedule. It's just impossible. You cannot do it.
And when it comes to the opportunity that Mizzou took to leave the Big 12 to go to the SEC, that part as well, you owe it to your department, your university, ultimately your fans to make that move if you have that opportunity.
Oh, no doubt, especially the money that comes in from the SEC, and the other thing too, Joe, I know no one would ever admit this, but if you pulled the powers that be at Mizzou at the time when they moved, Gary Pinkel was the head coach for Missouri. Mike Alden was the athletic director. The foresight they had to push this university into the best football conference in America was unbelievable. But I got to tell you, I know a ton of Mizzou fans who at first thought I don't know how we're going to survive in football, and I think we're going to dominate in basketball. And it kind of, for a long time, was the opposite. Mizzou football has done very well in the SEC, middle of the pack in terms of record since joining the conference, 2 SEC championship games, and the basketball program has had to build to where they are now, and Coach Dennis Gates has it going in the right direction. But it was a little bit, I think it was a little surprising, even for us as fans.
Indeed. Randy, I have already kept you longer than I promised that I would, so I will let you go, but I appreciate you as always, and big time for jumping on at late notice today.
Yeah, no problem, Joe. Thanks for having me. Anytime.
Good to chat with you. That's Randy Molman, the PA voice at Mizzou, talking about Mizzou football. We'll keep the conversation there with Mizzou football. We'll hear from the wide receiver, Kevin Coleman Jr. That's coming up when we come back on the Gray Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The biggest impact I get to make is seeing kids graduate.
I find it the most meaningful to be able to work with kids and see the smiles on their faces when they figure out how to read.
I felt really strongly that my faith was calling me to be a person who serves others.
The only way that things are going to get better is if we all try to lend a hand.
Volunteer in your community. Visit showmeservice.org. Sponsored by the Missouri Community Service Commission and the Corporation for National and Community Service.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
It's the most inspiring night in sports, the Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Bermula up the seam, and he's got it complete. Kevin Coleman on the move. Coleman shut down of bounds near the goal line.
Wow, Kevin Coleman Jr. had a game. 10 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown for the St. Louis product. We welcome in the Mizzou wide receiver, the St. Mary's product, Kevin Coleman, to KMOX. How are you, Kevin? Congrats on the win over KU.
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Appreciate that.
It's good to talk to you. Kevin, I first met you in a suite at the Bragging Rights game, and we exchanged phone numbers. And what we talked about, I can tell the audience, it's fine, is like, you and I should do some radio sometime. You brought it up to me like, hey, you and I should talk sometime. Well, here we are. I mean, and by the way, we booked this interview before you went off on the Jayhawks because you have a bag of chips coming out that I want to tell people about. But man, I mean, you've got to be still thinking such great thoughts and memories floating into your mind about yesterday at Faurot Field.
Man, that was a dream come true, man. I knew the rivalry and the history it had upon both states. And just to come out with the win, being down 15, and just overcome adversity with a great group of guys and brothers I have, man, couldn't be more special than what it was.
One of my favorite things that I heard from you yesterday was an interview you did with my friend Tamar Scher of KMOV on the field. And when she asked you about your accomplishments, you said, my favorite play was my block for Jamal Roberts. And I love that. Tell me how that developed.
Man, first just practice habits. Shout out to Coach Pillar. He helped me create a lot of great practice habits when it comes to blocking. He's on the receivers about every small detail, especially at practice, because practice is going to turn into game day reality. Your practice habits. So sorry about that. Yeah. So when I made the block, it was just like a day of practice. And I just heard Coach Pillar screaming at me, "You got to make the block!" But right before that play, I told Jamal Roberts, "Hey, the GB and Coach Luber, the running backs coach, the GBs are about to be the ones that end this game." And when I seen the signal come in, I knew Jamal Roberts was going to get it. I knew I had to make the block so he can be special and do the rest.
Robert,
that's just my high school friend. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, that's just my high school. I mean, not my high school friend, but my high school teammate and a guy I grew up with since we were kids. And man, to see him happy and see him smiling and make the big time play to close the game, that's bigger than what I did.
Yeah. I was going to mention to the audience there that's the extra part of it, is that not only is he a St. Louis kid, but he's a St. Mary's grad like you, a redshirt sophomore who you've seen growing up. I mean, what a special thing to have all of this St. Louis presence on this Missouri football team right now.
No, yes, sir. Just trying to put on for the city, and so the guys that's come after us, it's possible to stay consistent, have good character, and just keep moving forward.
When you fell behind early in the game, what is it like on the sideline? And specifically, what does Coach Drinkwitz bring to this team in moments like that?
Man, the sideline, everyone was just poised. Everyone was calm, but everyone was moving with a sense of urgency. The energy definitely had to be brought up. Momentum had to be flipped. And we told each other we just got to play complementary football. Get a stop, we'll score. Defense get a stop, the offense will score. So we just kept uplifting each other and just being there for one another. I didn't see no complaining, no one blaming each other. It was just this play mentality. And Coach Drink, he the one that installed that into the whole team. Stay poised, stay calm. Things are going to happen. Football teaches you life lessons. Things are going to happen, but it's about how you respond. So when we got down, we practiced moments being down. It was another day of practice, just in front of a crowd, so a bigger crowd. So when we was down, man, everybody was like, bro, we got time. As long as there's time on the clock, never give up. So that was our mentality.
Kevin Coleman Jr. is with us, transferred back home to his state of Missouri from Mississippi State. They had a big win yesterday, beating Arizona State. But Kevin, 42-31 over KU. I mean, it was great. And it's also, in this day and age where you're transferring schools, you have to be able to create a bond and a chemistry with your teammates and, of course, in your position with your quarterback. But I'm hearing and seeing that things are going very well between you and Bo Perbula.
Yes, sir. No, Bo's a great guy off the field, and a great guy on the field. He's a guy that's trying to spread the ball, spread the love around. Just a great guy. Great arms, mobile. Man, he got everything, but he's a special guy and very important to this offense.
And so is Kevin Coleman Jr., who wears number 3, as Luther Burden III did. And how much of that do you think about carrying on what he did at Mizzou?
No, that number right there, number 3, always been a part of who I am. But definitely, Luther Burden wearing it and leaving a legacy in it. My thing is, I want to leave my legacy in it, but I also have to leave it better than I found it. So that's my thing. Just leave it better than I found it. So the next guy that wears that jersey, know the shoes he's stepping into, and knowing what he's dealing with, and he needs to leave it better than he found it. But also, we're just trying to carry that St. Louis legacy. You know,
Absolutely.
I always play around and throw that out there and say, the next guy I want to wear the jersey is another St. Louis guy, but he need to be prepared for what comes with it.
Now, I teased people about the chips, so let me close with that and talk a couple of minutes with you about Snack Fanatics and the Red Hot Honey Barbecue flavored Ridge potato chips, which I've already had a bag, and they're phenomenal. But I remember when Luther had his, and so up in the corner of the bag, it says, same great taste, new number 3. Kevin Coleman Jr. has a special edition potato chips. They're sold inside Faroe concessions, by the way, but here in St. Louis, you can get them at Schnuck stores, and some other STL players are going to have special flavors as well. But that had to have been great. I know that when it came to NIL deals, this is one you wanted.
Man, this is the one I wanted. It's a dream come true. Shout out Ken Dubusky and the rest of the people that helped me get this opportunity and be blessed with this opportunity. But, man, it's a dream come true. Growing up where I grew up in St. Louis, going into convenience stores and seeing different celebrities on chips and thinking like, man, one day if that was me, that'd be a dream come true. And coming back to my home state and playing for my home state, that was already a dream come true. Then getting some chips that I'd seen celebrities be on as a kid, and then now I'm that guy on the chips, man, it's a dream come true and a blessing. I appreciate everyone that helped me out.
They're so good. My review on the chips, they hit you with that sweet barbecue taste at first, and then that heat creeps in later, right? A few seconds later, that heat creeps in, but man, they're good. I ate a whole bag watching football yesterday.
Hey, that spice gets you. After the game, I was starving. I ate me a bag of chips. I'm like, okay, it's good, because I already had tried them. But then that spice kicked in. I'm like, I need some water.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good. I have a picture of the bag for our viewers here. This is, of course, KMOX radio, but we're also streaming online so the viewers can see what it looks like. But it'll be easy to find at Schnucks. You just grab the bag that has Kevin's picture on it. He's pointing at you. He's holding the football in his left hand and pointing at you, saying, buy this bag of chips in his right hand. It's really great. I'm excited for you. I mean this. When I first met you, just a great vibe about you. I think you have what it takes, not only obviously to be a great player in the SEC, which you've already proven, but I think a great representative and living a life that could be an example for these teammates. So thank you for what you do.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Appreciate the recognition. Shout out to my parents for helping me out and my coaches.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. It's going to be a fun ride, and congrats on the win over KU.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. That's Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr.
And that's Tom Ackerman from Sunday Morning on Sports on a Sunday Morning here on KMOX. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley tonight on the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. So a little Mizzou football there to start you off in the 6 o'clock hour. We're going to get to some Missouri State football in the 7 o'clock hour. We have just a couple more minutes left in this hour. We'll take a break, come back, wrap up the 6, and we'll be back for the 7. We're coming back on the Gray Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. Selling your home, every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health, but you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Looking for more than just a job? At Rottler Pest Solutions, we're building careers with comprehensive benefits, flexibility, and real opportunities to grow. We're hiring technicians and team players ready to make a difference all across our local communities. No experience? No problem. We train the right people because we believe in investing in you. Join the Rottler team today. Apply now at rottler.com/careers. That's rottler.com/careers.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
And we're very fortunate at Washington University School of Medicine and Siteman to have the only endometrial cancer spore. So we are actually doing a $15 million grant that is housed here under Dr. Much to actually evaluate uterine cancer.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley on this edition of the Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on this Sunday night. Of course, we're ahead of Cardinal baseball. That will come your way beginning with our pregame show at 7:45 tonight. So basically a full show tonight as far as the Sports Open Line goes. And then we'll be on to the pregame show as normal. Again, that gets started at 7:45. First pitch tonight is 8:40. The Cards and the Mariners. George Kirby will start for the Mariners tonight. Matthew Liberatore for the Cards. And of course, we'll have all your all the info you need coming up on Ameren Total Access on the pregame show. And of course, I will have you on a very late night edition of our postgame show. So if you're still around, join us then. Come back and comment and chat and call in, and we can talk all the Cardinals baseball we want. Maybe after midnight tonight, depending on how long that game lasts. It's going to be a late one. That's the burden of playing the West Coast games. And I need to give a shout out to my SIUE Cougars because the men's basketball team announcing their their non-conference schedule today. The Ohio Valley Conference schedule was announced previously, and that gets started in December. But before that, the non-conference schedule out. A couple of really good games coming up at First Community Arena. You can see Indiana State coming to Edwardsville. Western Michigan is going to come to Edwardsville. The Cougars are going to be on the road at Drake. They're going to be on the road at Wisconsin. They're going to play a multi-team event out at Air Force, where they'll face Air Force and Alabama State coming up. That's at the end of November. They're going to go to North Florida. North Florida was in Edwardsville last year, so they'll go to North Florida. And then they've got some non-Division I games, as is per usual. Well, they'll also go to Texas San Antonio. So that'll be all coming up starting at the beginning of November. I mean, it is coming quick, and there'll be an exhibition game coming up there at the end of October as well, which they have not yet ironed out the details for that. So you can keep watching for that, because that's going to be a whole cool thing. The exhibition game, of course, the Cougars coming off a 22-win season a year ago, a trip to the NCAA tournament for the first time at the Division I level, an Ohio Valley Conference championship for the first time. In fact, first conference championship for the program. So that even goes back to the GLVC days at the Division II level. So they did that last year. So historic run last year. I can tell you too, certainly as the season sort of picked up momentum, definitely as they got into Ohio Valley Conference play, First Community Arena, those tickets were hard to get. It is a tremendous place to see a basketball game. They have opened up the second level, so it is a standing room area. You've got concessions up there. You've got a kids area up there. You've got food. You've got drink. You've got a couple of local drinks, a couple of local brews that are made just for the Cougars. So you want to come out and experience all of that. That is the best way to do it is season tickets. They are on sale now. Single game tickets don't go on sale till October, but the season tickets do. They are on sale as we speak. And I cannot, obviously, I'm biased. I've been there for a long time, but it is become a place to go be seen, to see and be seen. Really, it has become a social event in the Metro East. It's so very close here to St. Louis, so I would invite you to come out. But non-conference schedule released today, and going to be another fun year, I think, for the SIUE Cougars. So lots of good stuff going on locally. We're going to talk to Missouri State football head coach Ryan Beard. My man Daniel, who's on the other side in that little box there, if you're watching the stream, he's a Lindenwood guy. That's another Ohio Valley Conference school. That's a school now that is a full-fledged Division I member. That happened over the summer. So you're talking about a great rivalry, by the way, between SIUE and Lindenwood in a bunch of sports. Men's soccer, one of those sports. They've played some really good games over the years, but basketball, a big rivalry. Southeast Missouri State's in the Ohio Valley Conference, and that is also a nice rivalry between SIUE and SEMO. I know between SEMO and Lindenwood. So you're talking about some really good local basketball, but local sports in total. Daniel was talking to me about the hockey. They're going to have a ton of home games at Lindenwood, so that's pretty cool as well. Lots of good things to do and check out. And again, we'll talk to the head football coach at Missouri State. That is Ryan Beard. That's coming up just after the news here as we get into the second hour of the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Big thanks to Randy Molman. Thanks to Tom Ackerman for letting us steal that interview from Sunday as well. And we've got more. We've got lots to come here in the 7 o'clock hour. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley tonight. Matt's under the weather. He'll be back this week. We're coming back after the news on KMOX.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com. KMOXbroadband.com.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever because now we have new treatments that could change everything. This is Megan Lynch. Join me Saturday, October 25th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the region's largest fundraiser to fight dementia and support those living with the disease because now is the time for action. You can join in the fight by registering for the walk at alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers. And you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200. And always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
If you or a loved one wants a trusted partner to help you age with purpose and independence at home, the Ever True Anywhere Care team offers world-class in-home services for older adults, including physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Formerly Lutheran Senior Services, the caregivers at Ever True Anywhere Care assess your needs and customize a plan for you. Call 314-597-6498 or visit evertrueanywherecare.org. That's evertrueanywherecare.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Justice Department has charged a man with the stabbing death of a Ukrainian refugee on a North Carolina commuter train. CBS's Matt Piper.
U.S. Attorney for North Carolina Russ Ferguson says while the incident occurred on August 22nd, the surveillance video from the train was only just recently released.
The surveillance video was obtained from the train, and that's really what gave us the basis for federal charges here.
He says the victim, Irina Zaretska, fled to Charlotte after living in a bomb shelter in Ukraine.
I'm here today to announce that we're going to supplement those state charges with federal charges. These federal charges will go alongside the murder case in state court. We hope that they will ensure justice for Irna, for her family, and for the whole Charlotte community.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
President Trump says he was not notified about the Israeli strike on Hamas leaders in Qatar ahead of time and will give a full statement tomorrow on it. CBS's Aaron Navarro.
We learned that President Trump, in addition to calling Netanyahu, also talked to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar after the attack. And from Caroline Levitt, she said that Trump assured them an attack on their soil would not happen again.
The UN Security Council, according to diplomatic sources, will hold an emergency meeting tomorrow. Hamas says 5 of its members were killed, and Israel's prime minister defends the strike, saying he believes it may finally pave the way toward lasting peace. President Trump has told the European Union to impose tariffs on China and India of up to 100% as part of an effort to put pressure on Russia to end its war with Ukraine. It was first reported by the Financial Times. In Long Beach, California, a lot of shipping containers are where they should not be. CBS's Adam Yamaguchi.
The Coast Guard says more than 60 shipping containers fell off a cargo ship, leaving a mess of boxes in the water here in Long Beach. Fireboat using water cannons to use the force of water to keep those boxes from drifting off into areas of the port where there still is traffic.
The vessel arrived at Long Beach from southern China. The incident is under investigation. A new study looks at obesity in children. CBS's Michael Wallace.
A new UNICEF report says 1 in 10 school-aged children are obese. The agency's Harriet Torles says governments have to stop the spread of the ultra-processed foods causing that malnutrition.
Prohibiting marketing of these unhealthy foods and beverages to children.
She says if they don't, obesity will become an even bigger economic burden when today's children become adults.
By the year 2035, a staggering $4 trillion will be incurred by overweight and obesity.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A Michigan judge tosses a case against 15 accused fake electors for President Trump in 2020. Charges were brought by the state's Democratic Attorney General over 2 years ago. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 7:03, it's a cloudy sky, standing at 76 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Today's a pretty sad day in Missouri. It's a pretty sad day for our democracy.
House Democratic leader Representative Ashley Awney, after legislators in the Missouri House today passed 2 controversial special session measures. One would redraw congressional maps. The other make it much harder to pass initiative petitions. Awney says these are not fair moves to her.
Today, when all eyes were on Missouri, so much so that C-SPAN was covering our debate, our feed cut out over and over again. Incidentally, a lot of that happened while Democrats were speaking. Democracy dies in the dark.
She says as soon as the measures pass the state Senate, there'll be 2 responses from Democrats, one in the courts, another to try to get repeal of the maps put before voters. While House Democrats held that news conference to discuss the session, House Republicans did not today. U.S. Steel has announced they'll be at the end of October. Granite City Works will no longer be processing slabs. President of the United Steelworkers, Local 1899, Craig McKee, says steelworkers will not be laid off yet. They'll continue to do what he calls glorified labor, like painting and cleaning, and that comes with a pay cut.
The company has told us that there will be some effect to their pay in regards to incentive plans that pay out on their paycheck.
McKee says for many workers, the incentive pay adds up to about $1,400 to $1,800 a month. He adds, despite the national security agreement that allowed Nippon of Japan to buy U.S. Steel, and that would maintain work at all plants until mid-2027 under the deal, he says the move feels like the beginning of the end for U.S. Steel in Granite City.
Granite City Mayor Mike Parkinson tells the Chris and Amy show Nippon is not sticking to their word.
They put out an agreement that they would do certain things here in Granite City, and it seems like now they're backing off those plans. There is, language now that they put out that they're gonna stop the slab supply here in October.
Parkinson says they are obviously not going to stop producing the slabs, so where are they going? And he adds, our government needs to find out where they are being sent and if there are antitrust issues. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
A plan to jumpstart development in Wildwood's town center is moving forward, but not without controversy. The city council, by a 9-6 vote, approved a $3 million tax break for new luxury apartments and retail. Resident Tony Salvatore.
This is a monstrosity.
That's it. Time's
It's a
up.
monstrosity.
Time's up now.
Developer Tom Kyman defended the initiative.
We're personally putting in $15 million of hard equity invested into the city to activate
and create a luxury project here.
The Rockwood School District stands to lose an estimated $1.5 million in tax revenue spread out over 10 years, while potentially having to absorb the cost of new students moving into the development. St. Louis City is working to cut red tape and make it easier to add a second dwelling to your property. The bill's sponsor, Alderwoman Shameen Clark-Hubbard, sees many benefits to making the process easier.
Streamlining and making it easier for people to be able to build this property or convert a property that they already have into either accessory dwelling for them or a family member, or it could be supplemental income.
Forecast from Dave Murray for overnight, partly cloudy, low 62 for Wednesday, sunshine and high of 90, 66 tomorrow night, 92 for Thursday. Right now, we've got 76 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Come on, let's get going now.
From KMOX Sports.
We're primed and ready. All day, baby. Man, let's go.
This is the Gray Bar Sports Open Live. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Joe Pott back in on KMOX, in for Matt Pauley tonight as we welcome you back for hour number 2 of the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. And our next guest already on the line. I do not want to keep him waiting any longer. We welcome to the program the head football coach at Missouri State University. That is Ryan Beard. And first and foremost, Coach, congrats on the first win as an FBS program coming this week.
Thank you, sir. What a huge weekend it was for the Missouri State Bears and everybody in the Springfield Ozarks area, man. It was top-notch win against a good Marshall team. It was a good time to set the table.
21-20, the final score, 474 yards of total offense. Did take a good game-capping drive down the stretch, but I can't imagine like what that feeling was like to. I know as maybe people don't know, but Missouri State making the jump from the Missouri Valley Conference to Conference USA, from the FCS level to the FBS level, that is not just okay, snap your fingers and we're there. That's a process, and to get from the start of that process to the win on Saturday has to be very gratifying for you and for, as you said, everybody at the university and within the athletics department.
Oh, what a tremendous feat. I mean, it's not like we went into some no-name team and won. Marshall was coming off a 15-year home opener win streak. They win about 82% of their games at home, and we were able to go in and kind of impose our will a little bit on them. I know it was a close game, but we had some flags here and there and some mishaps, but our guys finished it off the right way, and it's a ton of positive momentum moving forward.
Yeah, you don't roll up 474 yards without doing something right. Your quarterback, Jacob Clark, you've got a very experienced quarterback in Jacob Clark. He is a 25-year-old quarterback in his fourth season with the Bears, but he spent some time at Minnesota before that. So he brings a lot of experience to you and what you are doing in this move to FBS, doesn't he?
He does. Being a veteran like that, and with age comes wisdom, I would like to think. And he is. He's an older guy. He's played a lot of football. He's seen a lot of things. He's been able to learn from some really good coaches. And the way he sees the game, the way he, just makes his progressions. And then the one thing you saw on Saturday, his ability to run when things aren't moving down the field, was maybe what won the game for us. And he's a tremendous talent. He's on a lot of guys' lists for the NFL. So he's set to have a big year.
I kind of mentioned the process a little bit, but take us through that a little bit, just kind of like what the last couple of years have been like. You were a top 25 ranked team at the end of last year in the FCS. But to get to that point, to get to making that move to Conference USA, to making that step up in subdivision, just kind of talk about what that process has been like.
Oh, man, it's been a tough road to plow. I mean, when we got here 5 years ago, Missouri State had been dead in the water for 30 years. We just kind of had to revive the program, bring in hope, and we did just that. When Coach Petrino was the head coach, I was the defensive coordinator. We were able to go to the playoffs back-to-back years in the FCS. And when I took over, we went 4-7 the first year, then went 8-4. And I think we're on track to have a good year this year. And it's just one of those things that you said it earlier. It's not easy because our infrastructure is lacking. We need the resources. We need the buy-in from the community. And I think that's finally there. It's such a good feeling around town right now, the excitement. Everybody from St. Louis to Kansas City to Tulsa, the whole triangle is talking about the Missouri State Bears. And there's nowhere to go but up.
Coach, you raise a good point. We're talking with Ryan Beard, the head coach at Missouri State. You raise a really good point because When we started off, you were talking about Springfield and the Ozarks, but you mentioned Tulsa and St. Louis and Kansas City, and there has to be that kind of buy-in, right?
100%. I mean, we need community support, and when you look at these teams like our week one opponent USC, I mean, that's a $30 million roster. That doesn't just come from hopes and wishes. That comes from relationships around the community, pouring into the program and understanding kind of what it takes to win. And I think, again, we finally got to that point where we have a solid team. We have an unbelievable coaching staff, and the vibes have never been higher around the program.
You've got 3 straight home games coming up. I know that you've got to be looking forward to that. Your home opener coming up against a very good SMU team this week, but the chance to kind of get into your routine as a team, as a program at home, that can make a big difference, can it?
Man, it feels good. I mean, the first 2 weeks we went coast to coast. I mean, we got home from USC at 6 a.m. and you're sitting there going, oh, we got to go back to the East Coast next week. That's what people don't understand, that the feat that we just did with going to Marshall and winning that football game after going to the West Coast, it just speaks volumes of our players and our staff and how good of a job they did being resilient. And I cannot tell you how nice it will be to be able to sleep in our own bed and, get in a normal routine of having some home games. And again, the excitement that comes with having a home game with our home fans, with everyone that supports our program, to be able to come and cheer us on, it's life-giving to our football team.
I have to tell you, I have to tell the listeners as well. I have a daughter soon to be in college. We were actually in Springfield this summer during one of the open houses looking at campus, which was just, I mean, honestly, tremendous for all of us to be down there. But everybody wearing their Bears shirt with the CUSA logo on it, it felt to me, just even on a summer, I think it was a summer Friday, it felt to me like there was that momentum building.
There's no doubt this thing's for real. And listen, tell her there's no place like Mo State and to come on and be a Bear.
Well, she just got admitted. I can tell you, we just got the letter this week. So,
well, tell her congratulations. I think that she can red mark every other school on her list and feel confident in coming to Missouri State. Because they're literally, in the history of this school, has never been a better time to be a part of it. The energy is there. The resources are coming slowly but surely. We're everything infrastructure-wise, and you hit it. The campus is unbelievably beautiful. I mean, it's well maintained. There's no trash. There's no, everyone's safe, and that's why we do such a good job recruiting, because we have great people, and the campus community itself is top-notch.
Head coach Ryan Beard with us here from the Missouri State Bears. Coach, the Conference USA opener for your program, September 27th, Western Kentucky, happens to be against your alma mater, Western Kentucky. I cannot imagine the range of emotions, how special that is going to be to play that first Conference USA game against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, how surreal is that? I mean, that's where I kind of cut my teeth as a player, had a good career. Western Kentucky gave me a lot, but it's Bears all day through and through right now. It's we're going to do whatever it takes to stay competitive and hope to come out with a win. And the cool thing about it is I've been entrenched in the Bowling Green community for a long time. That's where Western Kentucky is located, and we're going to have private jets coming into town to support the Bears, not the Hilltoppers. So that's where we're at right now. Missouri State's becoming not just a local brand, but a national brand, and we're earning people's respect on a daily basis.
And I think if people don't realize it, Plaster Stadium is a tremendous spot to see a game. There is not a bad seat there. It is. I can't imagine what that's going to be like on Saturday.
No, that's the best part about it, because some venues you go to, and if you're high, you don't have a very good view of the field. Every single seat in the stadium has premium view. You can see everything. You'll even be able to hear. Hopefully I don't have to get after the referees too much, but, hopefully everybody's cheering loud enough so they can overcome that. But it's a great place to come watch a game. If you're in the area, come check us out. If you're on the fence whether or not to support Missouri State football, now is the time to get in, because we're going nowhere but up.
Ryan Beard, the head coach of Missouri State, with us. Coach, what does Conference USA look like this year? What are the challenges? What do the Bears have to do to compete in conference?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I think we just need to stay consistent. Again, sometimes, and I told our team this, we got beat down by USC, and I say this all the time. You can't get too low when people are on your head about how bad you are, and then you can't get too high when people are telling you how great you are. We have to be consistent. We know who we are. We trust our processes. And our players believe. We've got some talent in that locker room, and we got an unbelievable quarterback. They can steer the wheel of the offense. And, who knows what's going to happen. I think we have a good chance to be competitive.
I hear it a lot. We hear it from coaches in a lot of sports, right? Trust the process, do those things. But in all honesty, when you have, and you and your staff, this is obviously year number 3 as the head coach, but you were there, as you mentioned previously, as the defensive coordinator. When you get to this point, it really is about trusting all of those two-a-days and everything all of the work that they have put in to get to this point.
Yeah, it's big for us. And I'm going to be quite frank with you. These guys are not here. These coaches are not here because they get paid a bunch of money, because they have a bunch of nice bells and whistles. These kids are here, and these coaches are here because they believe in what we're doing. They believe that we can get them to the level they want to play at. We can win football games, and we can develop them to be the best people and players that they possibly can be. That's the beauty of Missouri State. It's not transactional like a bunch of places. Oh, we're going there for the money. We're doing this and that. They come for the development. They come for the joy in playing football. And that's a lost art nowadays, and we take pride in that.
2:30 on Saturday afternoon. It's Missouri State playing host to SMU in the home opener, the first home game as an FBS program. Head coach Ryan Beard, we certainly appreciate you taking some time tonight. Congrats on that win, and good luck for many more.
No, thanks so much for having me. And listen, tell your daughter she's making the right decision. Come to Missouri State. She'll be happy. And go Bears.
I love it, Coach. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Ryan Beard with us here, the head coach at Missouri State, making the jump from the Missouri Valley to Conference USA, getting that first win at Marshall on Saturday. SMU coming up this Saturday at home, 2:30 on Saturday. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hear from Alex Steen. He is the general manager in waiting for your St. Louis Blues. That's coming up on the other side of the break. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley tonight. It's the Gray Bar Sports Open Line, and we are coming back on KMOX.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Yeah, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
It's the most inspiring night in sports, the Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com. Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important. Promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Alexander Steen, a Stanley Cup champion, and he is the GM in waiting. He will be replacing Doug Armstrong when Armstrong's contract runs out. And it is great to have Steener with us on KMOX once again. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm good. Yourselves?
Doing great. It's great to be with you. And I've got to say that hockey couldn't come soon enough. I know it's a short off season, but this team, I think, has a real shot. I'm just curious to kind of get this out of the way. The way things ended last year, how nice is it to be able to get on the ice? And as painful as it was, how quickly can you brush that away and start anew, knowing what you have?
Well, the summer is a good time for it. It's, whenever the summer feels this long, it's always a positive. Guys heal up and the excitement starts to build, getting back into training camp, which is just around the corner now. But I think there's a humility to that second half. I think we understand the work that was put in throughout the course of the season to get us into a position that we were in at the end. And, for us, it's about building back those habits and almost starting over again at building all those consistencies in our game and in our preparation, the way we conducted ourselves in order to come out of the gates with a good start here.
The rookies report to camp on Wednesday. They'll hit the ice at Centene for practice on Thursday and Friday, and then they'll travel to Minnesota to play prospects from the Wild and the Blackhawks. You get right after it. What do you like about the youth of this team right now?
Well, it's been interesting that they've obviously grown together now. Like, they've gotten a connection with each other. They stay in touch throughout the course of the seasons, and especially during the summer. And then they get together like this and compete as a group for a couple of games. I think, especially for a chunk of the guys, this past summer has been a good summer. Like, it'll be interesting to see the growth that's happened with everybody. But there's an age group there where this is the first summer where they're not really pulled in a lot of different directions. They've been able to have sort of build their routines and focus on the quality of their training and also being able to have some family time. Like, there was no real pull for, national team camps and draft and combines and development camps. And so there's a lot going on during the summer. And then this year would be the first year where a lot of them have a chance to really put some muscle onto their frame and come in here with a big excitement and prepared and ready to go.
And there's some great names too. I mean, Snuggerud and Kyrou, and you look at what Dylan Holloway might be able to do. Kyrou's more of a veteran now, but there's so much like potential just sitting right there in terms of scoring. That's exciting. And then defense, how do you think that has lined up, especially your off-season additions, Alex?
Well, good. I mean, we were very enthusiastic about our younger players are taking steps. Logan Mayu, the addition, it's going to be interesting to see. He's looked very prepared and very, very eager to get going here. We have a good mix with our veteran presence there on the back end is phenomenal with their leadership and just how they play the game on both sides of the puck. And so there's a good balance and a lot of support for the guys as they're entering into this season.
Full training camp starts on the 17th, and then Doug Armstrong will have his opening season press conference. I always love listening to what he has to say. Your relationship seems so good. Every time we have Army on the air, he speaks very highly of how you have absorbed, and not to mention Mr. Stillman when we have him on, about how you have absorbed everything. How do you observe and take in what you're given as you know what's coming, that you will be running this front office?
Well, first and foremost, the people that I'm surrounded by and that Doug and Tom have surrounded themselves with. It's a joy to work with everyone. The support that they've given me and the time that they've given me with my learning and going through the experiences I've gone through in the last year and a bit, I would say almost 2 years. And, being able to work as closely to Doug and I got here around the same time and worked together for a long time as manager player, and similar relationship, but different roles. And, he pushed me as an athlete and certainly made me push my ceiling and see how far I could take it. And now he's doing a similar thing, but on this side of the game. So it's obviously very humble and honored to be in this position. And it's been a great experience. I feel like I'm soaking in as much as I possibly can, and support from the players and everyone's been fantastic. So I'm excited to get going on another season here.
Time marches on, but it is so much fun. It feels like it just happened, although it's been 6+ years since you won the Stanley Cup. It was just, I think it's a party that we're still recovering from here in St. Louis, to be honest with you. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, the party, the excitement, the fun that we had here in St. Louis in the summer of 19.
I agree. And it's just unique. I noticed it when I first moved here, and it's why we want to raise our kids here. The connection the sports teams, and especially us Blues, have with the city and the fans and the community, it's unique. I think I haven't experienced it. I've been to different places and haven't experienced it to this level. And I think it's why we feel that way in moments like that is because they are shared with each other. And it was unique. That's for sure.
There's a great connection between the fans and this team. You can go see them practice at Centene. The first preseason home game, September 27th against the Blackhawks. Single game tickets for all preseason and regular season games are available now at Ticketmaster.com. And they have those new Blues jerseys on sale this week at STLauthentics.com and in the team store at Enterprise Center. I really look forward to this upcoming season. And, of course, what's to come in the NHL. Just a new season is upon us, optimism, but also excitement, just getting hockey back again. Steiner, it's going to be great.
Yes, it is. We're looking forward to getting back to work, getting everybody back in the dressing room. And like I said, we got a lot of work to do, but everybody's kind of chomping at the bit right now to get going. So it's a good feeling, and look forward to seeing everybody down at the Enterprise Center here soon.
Great to be with you on KMOX. We'll catch up with you soon. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thank you. Alex Steen with us on KMOX.
That is Tom Ackerman and Alex Steen from the Blues front office. Of course, he'll be the GM following Doug Armstrong. And the Blues rookies do report to camp tomorrow, so we are that much closer to Blues hockey being back. It is hard to imagine, but we are, we are right there. It is around the corner. Cardinal baseball is also around the corner here on KMOX. It's a little bit closer than hockey season is because it's actually like 10 minutes away. Or 15 that we'll get started with the pregame show. So that's coming up at 7:45. We'll take a break here. We've got just a couple more minutes to wrap up here on Sports Open Line, and then we'll be off and running for the pregame show. And the Cards and the Mariners are up late tonight. Hope you stay up late with us as well. Joe Pott in for Matt Pauley. We're coming back on KMOX.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Charlie Brennan once again with Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler, is it possible we might say, oh, those kids are mumbling, when the problem really is our own inability to hear?
Exactly. Hearing is integral in everything that we do. It keeps us involved and embraced in life. Not hearing someone is never normal. Ringing in the ears is never normal. And when people have a hearing loss, oftentimes they complain that they can hear, but they cannot understand people. And avoiding getting a hearing aid can have long-term effects on the speech reception area of the brain. So what that means is if you test and treat the hearing loss early with a hearing aid, we can prevent a decline in the speech understanding that can happen if the hearing loss goes untreated.
The words of Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. 3 locations in St. Louis, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and some of you may know that I moved my mother to St. Louis about a year ago because she's aging and I needed to help her with day-to-day things, including getting her estate planning together. I recently met with the folks at Jansky Law. Martin Jansky is an elder law attorney, and that's exactly what he does. Everything from your power of attorney to advanced estate planning, including probate. Maybe you have your estate documents completed, but a nursing home could be in the future for you or a loved one. Jansky Law can help with pre-crisis and nursing home planning as well. Martin Jansky has 30 years of experience, young or old, no matter what your age. If you love your family and want to make sure that your wishes happen or help them ensure theirs do, call Jansky Law at 314-881-6141 or online at janskylaw.com. That's with a J, Jansky law.com. Again, jansky law.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Joe Pott back with you for a couple more minutes on the Gray Bar Sports Open Line, and then it is off to a Cardinals baseball here tonight. Pregame show gets underway at 7:45, so we'll break at 7:40. And then we'll be back at 7:45 with the start of the pregame show. Big thanks to the folks at Missouri State and to Matt Pauley for setting up that interview that we had with Ryan Beard, the head coach at Missouri State for Missouri State football. They had that big win against Marshall. We appreciate it. But Matt set that up before he realized, before that he was going to be out because he just kind of went under the weather today. So, again, Joe Pott sitting in for Matt. Matt will be back. We expect Matt to be back tomorrow. That's what we hope for. And hope that he is feeling better as well. But he set that interview up, so we certainly appreciate that. Thanks to Tom Ackerman, who did, of course, a couple interviews we had here tonight with both Alexander Steen as well as Kevin Coleman, the wide receiver at Mizzou that you heard earlier. Looking ahead to the Redbirds, they get started tonight against Seattle at 8:40. That's the first pitch Central Time. Matthew Liberatore is going to go out and make the start here tonight. And Liberatore has looked better of late. I still think that this is one of those things where they want Matthew Liberatore to finish the season as a regular starter, go have a regular offseason, and prepare to be a second-year starter next year. I think the exact same thing, by the way, about Michael McGreevy. That's really where they are headed, is that they want everything this year to feel like just like what it would be from year to year as a starter. That's why I think that they shut down Matthew Liberatore for a couple of starts at the All-Star break, because as opposed to holding him back or shutting him down to start September or whatever that case would have been, whatever the option would have been, I think that is why they did that in July after the All-Star break, so that you could then have him get right to the end of the year, despite pushing the limits of innings pitched and everything that he has done. But they want him to feel what it feels like to finish off this season, have a regular starters off season, whatever that throwing program looks like, everything that he's going to do, and go into spring training as part of this rotation. And again, Michael McGreevy, same thing, right? As soon as he got into the rotation as a regular, that's what the goal is. Get him to the end of the year, pitching as a starter, pitching every fifth day, doing all of the things the starters do, reviewing his starts, the bullpen day, adjusting, getting ready for the next lineup that he's going to face. All of those things, go into the offseason, have your throwing program, and get ready to go to spring training as a member of the starting rotation. That's what they're doing with those guys. These are the two that are going to be the center of your rotation, I think. That doesn't mean you don't go out and get maybe a number one, or you don't go out and fill in around them, but I think these are two solid pieces of your rotation. So Matthew Liberatore tonight, he's up against the right-hander George Kirby tonight. Kirby's 8-7 with a 4.47. Liberatore's got a 4.15 ERA and a 7-11 record as they get started tonight. So that is what is coming up here on KMOX. Thanks also to Randy Molman. I didn't want to not thank him, because he stepped in last second as well. He's a good go-to, good friend to have when you find out that you're going to be hosting the show. During the day, you want to have some folks you can lean on to help you out, and I certainly appreciate him doing that. So thanks to you for spending some time with us tonight as well. We'll take we're coming up on the break here in just a bit, and then we'll have Cardinals baseball to come, and it's going to be a late night. So if you're hanging around now and you're listening, and maybe you thought, man, I wish I would have had a chance to comment. I wish I would have had a chance to call in. I promise you'll have that chance. It might come very early on Wednesday morning, right? But you will still have that chance. It might be like after midnight tonight. It depends on how long this game lasts tonight between the Cards and the Mariners. But I will be up, and I will be with you in the post game, and we'll be able to talk all about it there, and we can chat about any number of things when it comes to the Redbirds after the game tonight. However late that may be, I assure you I'll be here. Daniel's going to be here on the other side of the board, so we're going to have everybody covered with regards to that. Cards start today, 4.5 games out in the National League wildcard race. So yes, mathematically, there still is an opportunity for the Redbirds as far as postseason. I don't think that's what the focus is, but it is certainly still a realistic possibility if they get hot, keep playing some good baseball. They're coming off of 3 consecutive series wins. You keep doing things like that, and who knows what can happen. We all remember 2021 when they ripped off 17 straight wins to get into the postseason in 2021. We're coming back. Cardinal baseball is coming up next. I'm Joe Pott, in for Matt Pauley. This is KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman for Innsbruck. Just the beautiful homes at Innsbruck. The new Sonnenhaus houses are available this